Hello. So I was browsing a Reddit thread as I tend to do, and I came across this thread where a guy was asking, let me pull it up, there we go. A guy was asking why he cannot win games in 2K MMR and why he's still stuck in there after 2.5 thousand hours in Dota, and I wrote a reply basically detailing the reasons why people tend to get stuck. And the guy linked me his Dota buff and asked to maybe take a look at his games, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. Not sure if I'm gonna watch the whole game. I picked out this one in particular because it seems like you have a decent HKDA, so I assume this is a game where you probably felt like you performed better at than maybe a lot of your other games. And also Wraith King is kind of my bread and butter hero. It is my most played at, let me see here. It's my most played 536 games with a 64% win rate. I used to be 75% at some point until I tanked it by by continuing to pick it when it wasn't an irredeemably dogshit hero. But I think I generally understand the hero pretty well still, even though I am kind of washed. As you can see, I don't play a lot, but I am 6.8k. Kind of a disclaimer, my carry ability is probably somewhere in the low 6k area. I don't think I'm as good of a carry as I am a support player. However, I'm sure if you're 2000 MMR or even like 4k MMR, you can find quite a lot to learn from my advice. A lot of it is going to be general, not necessarily meta-specific, because, again, I don't play a lot these days due to CS2 and also other obligations that I have. However, I still have a pretty decent grasp on the meta, in my opinion. So we are going to select you and go into a player view. And we're just going to look at what you did, what you were doing, and what I think you should have done better. If at some point my microphone shuts off, then, well, unlucky. I have some problem with my PC. And we're gonna check, basically. The first thing I always do, I think I would be doing this even if I wasn't a super active player. Even if I was a super active player, sorry. I check Dota 2 Pro Tracker for builds. As you can see, a lot of people here buy only one set of tangos instead of two. Generally, the way this works is you want as many stats as you can get right off the bag, and then you just get your regen, fly out a set of tangos right after the bounty runes spawn and are picked up. So definitely something I would recommend you consider. Also, this is a game where I think I would have gotten a magic stick first, because if you look at their lineup, one of the things you should always do, kind of take a look at the heroes you're playing against and try to imagine who you might be laying versus. So in this case, it is most definitely Bristleback. I didn't even look at the roles or whatever, but it's probably Bristleback. I would be very surprised if it wasn't. And Bristleback, as you can probably tell, spams a lot of quills. And what are good against quills? Well, a stick. And you probably want it right away. To start kind of building up those stacks, and that will allow you to trade better and yeah, all that stuff. I probably wouldn't finish a bracer, but as I'm seeing, a lot of people kind of are doing that. Let me switch off the monitor capture. Like some people finish braces. I probably wouldn't, just because I just don't like it, but that's probably fine. But we'll see how we do this. So this is okay. Okay, this is no longer okay. I would definitely not run into them, because if they played a little bit better, you probably would have fed there. That's, you see 5 people, you just run the hell away. You're not fighting that. Yeah. So let's see how you play the lane. Okay, so this, all right, right off the bat is an uncontested lane. You can get a free deny and a free CS, and you missed it. You missed both. This is very bad. This is unacceptable, okay? Here's what you do. You go here, learn, I think, third tab, last hitting, okay? Press start. You go in there. It's like a game mode where you basically pick a hero and then you last hit with no items. All right. I want you to get 95% last hits and 95% denies in the challenge, the last 3 minutes. You might do that and you might think, oh, what the hell? This is important. My fucking OBS froze. Interesting. Let me try and see if the recording actually happened. Okay, sorry for that. my hard drive is having issues, I believe. Anyway, yeah. You should really not let that ever happen. Yeah. Like this is horrible. This is okay. Like just to kind of, I don't know. I don't know what to say, honestly. This is just awful. This is atrocious. This should never happen. This is why you're losing. I can just basically close the replay right here and just tell you, okay, go practice last hits. Because this should not be happening. In a real game, like in a game with against competent players, against competent offlaners, right? You would have had all of this. You would have had all of this because you were virtually uncontested and now you are just kind of dying. But okay, this guy fed. Let's look at this again because like I'm just paying attention to the last hits, but you are just not playing the lane. You have no clue how to play the lane and it shows. You did the aggro right now. I don't know if it was intentionally or not at this point, honestly, because like with the way you CS, I don't think it was. But yeah, if you don't want to get hit, you want to right click on an enemy hero so you can pull aggro. So you don't have to tank. Now this is, you kind of waited too long, I think, to stun. Because basically, here's like my thought process, right? Honestly, you could have probably done it even earlier, but you kind of didn't react. So here's my thought process. Okay. Look. So this, I think he should maybe not die, but he should like lose most of his health right now if you cast Q. Now, why is that? This guy is on the tower. There are 3 creeps here that are gonna aggro on him. This is something you should always keep in mind, what the creeps are doing, what the tower is doing. And where the enemy is, and you should just stun. You should just stun right now because the tower is aggroed onto him. If you hold Alt, I can't do it right now because I'm in pause, but if you hold Alt, you see that the tower is aggroed. If you stunned faster, he would have taken damage on the tower. I don't know if this reduces. No, this doesn't reduce damage taken anymore, out of touch. But basically, he would have lost a lot of HP because Bristle, he has 4 armor. He's level 1. He's very weak right now, and he would have taken a lot of damage. Now here also, like you see this, you should press Q. Thankfully, your Lion also did this, and you did well, but. Basically, what I'm saying is you shouldn't have even dropped that low. He's just giving you a free kill by running into the tower like this. You should always punish this. I played a game the other day where I was axed against Monkey King, and literally because the tower aggroed onto the MK, I was losing the lane because it's a bad matchup for axe. But because the MK ran on the tower and aggroed the tower, I called him and he died, and I won the game afterwards. Literally, that one play won us the game. So just to kind of illustrate how big it is. I don't know what I should be talking about right now because honestly, this is this is terrible. You're not last hitting at all because you just don't know how to last hit. Now your wave is like pushed in. I don't think it should be pushed in, for the record. I don't think it should have ended up in this. I mean, I guess it tanked. It went to the tower, the guy single pulled, so whatever, right? But you should get this CS, you should get this CS, that's good. you should, when you do skeletons and Q, this can be very good, but you should do it in the other way, like the other way around. So the skeletons actually get directed to whoever you want to hit. But generally, I think I would be going for the Wisp here. However, the Bristleback is getting kind of low. So overall, I guess this trade worked out fine. I don't like how you finish the magic wand. I don't think it's good to do right now because you're not really getting that much more out of buying like the sticks, like the branches and the recipe. It's better if you go, for example, like a chainmail here instead and just keep the stick. Basically, you don't really want to upgrade the stick unless you really, really need it, unless you find yourself constantly being on 10 charges and also the guy keeps spamming spells and yeah. Not very cost efficient. A lot of people, if I go onto Dota Pro Tracker, they buy sticks. For example, okay, I'll show this. This guy, see, he bought the stick as his starting item and he upgraded, but this guy didn't. This guy upgraded, but way earlier, way after phase boots. So did this guy. This guy upgraded, but yeah, basically this guy upgraded like at 16 minutes in after his Radiance. What I'm getting at is there's no reason to just upgrade the stick just because you can. You should never do that. You should always have a reason. The stick is a very good item, a very, very cost-effective item. The wand is also good, but not so much. It's good if you're like team fighting a lot and if you run out of inventory slots, but you have 3 free ones available. So there's no point in doing that. Bad last hitting on the tower, again, I'll try not to mention it too much, but basically the way you play the lane is like very appropriate for your MMR. What I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to be mean, I mean I'm trying to be nice and constructive, but yeah, it's just very bad. You are also not contesting the Bristleback at all, which I guess makes sense given the start of the lane, but I think early on you could have pressured him a lot more. Also, same thing here, if you had stunned him, because the tower aggroed onto him, if you had stunned him, I don't know if he would have died, but he would have been very close to it. Especially if you like send your skellies on him. Because your skeletons are kind of your laning tool. They are very strong. They hit like a motherfucker, and you should abuse that. Now, this is very optimistic. It somehow worked. I don't know how, but sure. Generally, if you are hitting the bristle, I mean, this is something you probably know. Okay, again, with the skeletons, but whatever. You should kind of try to position yourself in front of him, which, to be fair, was kind of hard there, and he kind of turned around and looked at you for a bit. I feel like this is a very risky move that I wouldn't have made. If this guy pressed his Lotus, he would have died. But he didn't press his Lotus. Which is also the other thing. You guys are never contesting Lotus orbs because I guess you are there. Not Lotus orbs, but I don't know what the hell they're called. You know what I mean. Yeah. So right now you are kind of chilling and wasting time. I would have probably went top and hit the camp there and or like at least a little bit. Now you are for some reason going here when there is literally a free lane available. You are missing creeps. You missed 2 last hits now. Very inefficient. You should always prioritize. I don't even know why you would ever run down there. There's no point. You're not going to farm this camp with your health and with your levels. You don't have a Midas to Midas the camp. You don't have a ward, like to ward or de-ward. So like, I don't know what you're doing. You should be hitting creeps right now. You shouldn't be right now. You shouldn't be dancing under the tower. Basically, okay. Here's the lane setup. If you see the bristle, you get out and you go hit creeps. You don't dance under the tower. I don't know why you're like you're not even farming the camp. I don't know. Okay. Here's what you do. You go hit this camp. You hit this camp. If the lane is not available for you to farm, if it is, you beeline towards it and you get every CS you can. Lane creeps are super important, but that doesn't mean that during downtime you shouldn't like be hitting jungle creeps, you know? And these are pretty easy to hit. This is literally the quintessential farming pattern for a safe laner right now in this patch. unless they move the camps around, it's probably gonna stay that way. You push out the lane here, you push out the wave, and then you go, and then you clear this, maybe you clear this if you have time, but probably not. But you always should be like hitting something. You should either always be hitting something, or you should be running towards creeps that you can hit. Because again, here I would have aggroed my creeps onto myself. I would have pulled them back up towards the range creep, and I would have tried to push them out as fast as I can, and I would have gone and hit the creep camps. Yeah, you're just absolutely wasting your time here. This guy is really trying to give you a free win with these plays. Like, holy shit, I have no idea what is happening. Another thing is I'm noticing you don't really look at the map. Like, you could have checked what's happening here for action. I don't know, maybe they're running at you, maybe they're running back. You haven't really moved your camera away from your lane, which is also not good. Right now you're denying the catapult, which I think is a massive waste of time and also not really worth it. Here I would have just probably went and hit the jungle creeps, because you know, yeah. But okay, just to summarize, right now it's 8 minutes in. You have 1 kill, you have 4 assists, you have 34 last hits, and your net worth is 3.5 thousand. This is awful. This is absolutely awful. Let me pull up like a game. Let's see. Now I kind of waffled here for a bit, but I will show you this instead to kind of illustrate my point, right? So this is your replay. This is me in post while editing. So if we look at your player items graph, you get your armlet at 1240. You get your Deso at 1740 and your Blink at 2040. Now this is, you know, while you were still farming, well, quote unquote, right? Before the massive throw that you are primarily responsible for. Now, I want to just compare those timings, right? So like basically a 30, like, let's be generous, 12-minute armlet, 17-minute Deso, 20-minute Blink with that of the pros. If you look at Wraith King and you look at the safe lane games, that's a very good website, by the way. You should be using it. I was using it throughout the video. Let's see. Okay, 12-minute armlet, 18-minute radiance. Now a radiance is slightly more expensive by like 2k gold than a Deso. So yeah, you know, this guy has a 10-minute armlet and then 18-minute radiance, 11-minute armlet, 17-minute radiance, 12-minute armlet, 90-minute radiance, but with a shard also somewhere in the middle. But 8-minute, like 10-minute armlet, 60-minute radiance. You see what I'm getting at, right? These are, I assume, probably good games, but even some of them, like I'm sure some of them are not good games. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that your timings for how much you owned are very slow, because the pros are almost unquestionably out-farming you, even if they're not like given the opportunity to snowball as hard as the opportunity that you were given. All right, that's it. I don't think it's acceptable that your net worth is so low given the absolute free lane that you had. It wasn't completely free, but it was pretty free, right? Like, let's be real. It was pretty free. The bristleback fed you a bunch of times. Yeah, you didn't get the kills, but you could have gotten way more creeps. You could have been like 5k net worth at this point, easily, I think. I don't know why you ran to hit this camp, especially. It's a medium camp, so like you could have just run there, right? Hit this. It's way closer. It's the same camp. You literally get the same gold for it. Like, you're playing kind of as if you're unaware that there are camps that exist there. But right now you are just pushing. I would never do this. I don't know why you're denying. Like, you're absolutely wasting time here as well. What I would do is I would just press my W, let the skellies push, and then I would have probably left. But then I would have seen... Oh my fucking fucking god. I would have seen that they are doing some crazy shit mid, and I'm like, okay, I guess I can push. And I would have stayed here, and I would have pushed. The star would have been like probably half health. If someone started to TP, I would have left. Instead, you take mid for some reason, and now they TP back here, and you have to run away. You could have pressured bottom, and you could have kept farming. I don't know why you skipped the stacked camp. I mean, I guess, sure, whatever. Doesn't matter. But I think I've kind of hopped on this for long enough. But yeah, your farming is terrible. Your movements are very bad and inefficient, and you should definitely work on that. Just literally just download the replay and watch how people move, how people lane. Yeah. I think you should definitely be using your skeletons a bit more. Basically, you should like just spam the move cooldown, kind of. You don't have to wait until you have 8 charges. You can release them on 6 charges, and you can get auto farm. So like, look, you're doing this right now because there's stuff going on bottom. You could have done this like several minutes ago, and you could have had more farm. Okay, this is fine. This is also fine. And here I would have probably just... Yeah, okay, it's good. Okay, perfect. Okay, this is what you should be doing. This is good. I don't know about the Deso pickup, because I think a Radiance is better here, because it can just farm more and scale better. A Desolator basically relies on you snowballing and getting kills, or it relies on you kind of being not the main net worth guy. I don't know if this guy's going Radiance. He's not. No one here is going Radiance. I just prefer Radiance personally. I see some people going Deso on Dota Pro Tracker, but I don't think it's that good personally. But this is mostly okay, but I would definitely be farming waves a lot more, because again, waves are everything. Your priority should be waves, hard camps, medium camps, small camps, kind of like that. So if you look at the minimap, right, you see the arrows, this or the triangles. This just has a triangle. This has a stacked triangle. This has a double stacked triangle. So this, like the one triangle is a small camp, the stacked one is a medium, and the double stacked is a hard camp. So basically, the harder the camp is, the more money it gives you, the more XP it gives you. So you should be prioritizing that. You should also definitely be moving your camera around. I've mentioned this already, but I'm gonna mention it again. You don't know what's happening around the map, so you cannot make informed decisions on whether you should maybe join the fight, or you should help, or you should back off. I don't know if doing this was efficient. Here's like what I would have done. I don't know if I would have TP'd mid. I don't think it's a good TP, because now you don't have a TP for 80 seconds. And you could have just farmed your way, kind of. You go like this. You go like, you farm this, you farm this, you farm this. You have stuff mid. You spawn your skeletons either earlier here, or you spawn them here, let them push out the wave, and then you go hit Ancients. At this point, I'm pretty sure you can kill Ancients reasonably fast and not really lose that much health. I mean, you have an armlet. Honestly, you can do it like way earlier, right? If you have an armlet. If you have an armlet, you can farm Ancients already, basically. It's your farming tool, more or less. So you should be doing that. Instead, you're running to help bot. I don't think this is a good fight for you to take. Kind of useless, doesn't serve any purpose. Here you just almost killed yourself. Again, I don't know if it's good. I don't think it is. At least you get the tower, I guess, but I don't think they really needed you here. I would have just kept farming Ancients. Now, just to kind of illustrate your item timings, you have... okay, let's see the fight. Let's see how you play the fight. Okay, this is fine. And you run on the CM. There is a case to be made about holding your stun, so you can maybe go on the CM later on instead of the Bristle, because he kind of was already controlled, but whatever. I probably would have done that. But, you know, maybe he gets reload out, who knows, right? I mean, he doesn't have reload. It was off cooldown, but you don't know that. But, okay. See, now you're farming here. This whole time, PA is doing something. She still doesn't have a Battle Fury. She's very far away from it. So honestly, like, you guys should win this, right? You guys should be winning a lot harder than you are, because again, you didn't farm properly and you just like left a lot of farm on the map. You let them take a lot of last hits. This is fine. I would be doing the same thing. I don't know what the hell that was. I probably would have spawned the skeletons on top of the tower instead of just like panic spawn them. There was no point. You're just feeding gold and like feeding skeletons away. Let's see your talent. Okay, good talent. Continue. Like, I feel like trying to get this tower is basically a waste of time. It's better to just farm. It's hard to take towers. It's like when it's a tier 2, 20 minutes in, I would just hit Ancients. Because realistically, you should never get the kill here. And all the while, PA is just free farming and you're letting her catch up, which is not good. This is also quite risky, I guess, to have your ult, and I guess you are like kind of far ahead. And I mean, you have a few rounds, so that's fine. But this is definitely stupid. This is definitely stupid. There's no way this works in a proper game. I don't believe it. You actually take racks here. How the fuck do you lose this if you take racks 20 minutes in this patch where it's so hard to go high ground? I guess let's wait and see. But this is a free game. Okay, at this point this is a free game. I can't wait to see how you manage to lose this, because there's no universe where this should happen. Slight mistake, you should have focused the melee barracks instead of the range ones because they regen. But whatever. I mean, you got half a fucking racks. You're chilling. You're good. And now I don't know what you're doing. I guess you wanna get more kills? You got your blink, but he has invincibility, unfortunately. You should buy dusts, I think. If it's a game like this, usually I wouldn't, because I would just rely on my team getting them. But honestly, in this MMR bracket, you can't rely on that shit. So you replace this probably, or the wand. You replace one or the other for dusts. Up to you, really. Probably the bracer, because on the Wraith King, it's nice to have the wand for your ult, for quick mana regen. But right now, you are like trying really hard to just like lose your team the game. Like, you're really trying, you know. It's very admirable. I respect this. This is okay. Quality throw right there. Good job. So now you just lost the game. Probably not. Honestly, I say lost the game in a real, in my MMR bracket, very likely that you just lose the game after this play. But this is 2K we're talking about. Also, at this point, still anything is possible. You can still win. But this is okay. This is what happens. You just give them like a fucking 8k gold swing, probably even more after they take the tower. PA has items now. All of a sudden, she has the Deso. They're gonna take your axe. Okay, they're not gonna take your axe. There's no way. There's no way they actually take your axe. But, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, please explain to me what the fuck you were doing. Dying here, you are hitting this without any backup. You just waste your ult in this spot, and then you're like, oh, how about I jump, like, basically 1v3, because at that point the Pudge is dead, even if the Pudge wasn't dead. I'm gonna jump 2v3 without ult into a fucking tier 3, and like, into their base. What are you doing? This is not how you play Dota. The way you play Dota is you farm until you have items, but you know, whatever, you have items. Go take Roche. You take Roche, and in this bracket, you can probably try to go high ground within Aegis. In a high MMR bracket, I'm sorry, that's not happening. You just keep farming because it's hard. It's very hard to go high ground this patch. You're just gonna get clapped. But yeah, basically, that blink lost you the game, most likely. You were so ahead. You were actually so insanely ahead. Look at this. You were fucking... how do I read this graph? You had a 16,000 net worth advantage. Now you have a 6,000 net worth advantage. This is huge. This is absolutely massive. You were dead set to win this game, and then you just did that. As a carry, you have to realize that your responsibility is not doing plays like these, because you are the #1 net worth on the map in winning games, or like at least you are like close to being #1 on your team. So it is your responsibility to be disciplined and not do shit like this that will lose the game. And what are you doing now? Okay. You try again after you already got destroyed once, and you go high ground without Aegis again. Why? What is the point? This is such an obvious lost fight. This is such an obvious lost fight. This is such an obvious throw. You said that you don't understand the game, which I guess is clear enough. Okay, here, I'm gonna explain to you how the game works. Dota is a game of small advantages turning into big advantages by snowballing, right? Every micro thing, micro efficiency that you do, every kill you get is massive, because Dota is a game about tempo, right? It doesn't matter if you are 6 slotted, if the enemy is also 6 slotted. You're not that strong, right? But the real strength is, for example, if you are 3 slotted or 4 slotted, when the enemy carry is 2 slotted, right? Then you are extremely strong. It is a game of relative strength, not absolute strength. So you need to realize that and play as if you understand that if you let your enemy catch up, it is very bad for you. Because even if you're still farming well, you're still high net worth than PA, but at this point, it's very different. It's a very different situation from what it was 5 minutes ago when you didn't feed this, because if we go to 16 minutes in, or like 20 minutes in, let's see. If we go to 90 minutes in, you are 4,000 net worth ahead of her. You're 4,000 net worth ahead, and this is before you even take racks. If you go to like 21 minutes, you are right now also 5,000 net worth ahead. You could have been more ahead, honestly, if you farmed better. But right now, as it stands, you are basically even. You're almost even. And yeah, this is how you lose. You have to understand that you cannot just break high ground if you are even in terms of strength. You need to be ahead to break high ground. That's always been like that. That's always been the case. But in this patch, it's especially hard to break high ground. So you need to be even more ahead and also probably have an Aegis. Such a classic mistake that I see people make, even in like 4K MMR, 5K MMR. They go high ground, they try to go high ground without Aegis, and then they just lose the game because they don't have Aegis. You need to understand that having a second life when you, or like a third life to go high ground is massive. Now on Wraith King, you don't really need the Aegis, but you just give it to like, I don't know, fucking Podge or some shit, right? Or whoever is like, oh, you're Furion, actually. Yeah, that's a good Aegis target. But yeah, at this point, I don't really wanna watch, because it's basically it. You could still come back probably here. Your itemization honestly seems fine, but you are very inefficient in your farming. Again, okay, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Buy the fucking dust. Buy the fucking dust. No one else is gonna do it. You are in 2K MMR. No one is gonna buy dust. So you have to be the one to do it. Okay? Now you fight into an Aegis. Didn't even notice that they took ages. But okay, at this point, look at what's happening. At this point, you lost. You just lost. Because right now, it's just gonna keep happening. For some reason, the game lasts for like 20 more minutes. Probably because, again, it's hard to go high ground this patch. And also, this is 2K MMR, so people love throwing. But yeah, I'm not gonna watch after that because like right now the game is stupid. Right now the game is really stupid. And I don't think it's worth it to like look at the game like this. Because it should never have gotten to this point. If you had played better, if you had played smarter, if you had done things differently, this would never have happened. You would have probably won the game like at this timestamp, or maybe 35 minutes in. You have to be disciplined. You have to understand your role in the game. You have to play for objectives. You have to know when you're weak, know when you're strong. And also, you have to be good at farming, okay? As the last thing I do before I close out this session of replay review, here's what you should strive for, right? I am not the best carry by any stretch of the imagination. There are lots of people at my MMR, or even below my MMR, who are better carries than me because they play this role as their main role. I used to do that. I don't anymore because I'm just better at support. And this is like support is the role I played the most over my years. But maybe it's scary, honestly. But basically, this is what you should do, right? You go here, you just sit here until you get everything. And you might say, well, it's unrealistic because you're not being pressured. I mean, yes, of course. But if you cannot be like basically 100% accurate with your last hits when you're not pressured, how can you possibly be that when you are? And I fucked up there. I could have gotten it if I prep hit it earlier. But yeah, you should know how to last hit here. You should know how to last hit on the tower. See how I'm getting like all the CS basically. I've gotten all the CS and I've like missed. Okay, we saw around. Didn't see that. But basically, yeah, you should never miss a free CS. You should never miss a free deny. Obviously prioritize CS over denies. That goes without saying, right? Your goal is to get items. And also understand kind of the objectives, right? You're farming for something. So this should probably prevent the cases of you like mindlessly denying creeps in lane when there is literally nobody against you, and maybe you also want to be looking into pushing. You're still denying because you just aren't thinking about the big picture. You always should be thinking about the big picture. Dota is a very macro-intensive game. I fucked up. Dota is a very macro-intensive game. Mechanics don't matter as much as, for example, in a game like League of Legends, in a game maybe like Counter-Strike. Obviously, mechanics are big, but, and like these I would call mechanics, right? Last hitting, casting spells, etc. You should always obviously like click on the enemies, like left click on them, check their items. It's easier than ever now. Now that you can just do it without having them on the map, you just click above and it shows their inventory. You should always be doing that. You should always be last hitting well. You should be playing the wave properly, playing the lane, sorry. But basically, yeah, you get to like 90-95% here, and then you're good to go, okay? But before that, I recommend you keep practicing. Same thing with what I mentioned in the Reddit post about farming patterns, stuff like that. Practice it until you're good at it, until you can do it consistently. There's one thing that I remember seeing, Cookie Challenge Dota 2. Someone uploaded it. Basically, just Google that, Cookie Challenge Dota 2, or Cookie Challenges. This is very old. It's by a guy who would like grind a lot and kind of get better. He got better from like 1k to 60 or something. It was like years ago. I remember him posting Learn Dota 2 and subs like that. But I think there are like more than this, but here are the targets. Right now, probably it's easier than ever because there's more farm on the map. But if you care, this is kind of the goals you should strive for when you're playing in empty lobbies, if it's not too boring for you. It will improve you a lot. It will improve you a lot if you do this. Yeah, so that's what I would recommend. And obviously watch replays, as I've said. Watching pro player replays or like higher pro player replays is massive. It will help you a lot because you will kind of see what they do and what you should be doing as well. Even if you don't understand everything, it's still very good to have that as a pointer. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps. And yeah, good luck. And remember, enjoy the game. This all doesn't matter if you don't enjoy playing the game. But yeah, that's it. See ya.